May I call upon Mr. T. N. Manoharan to deliver the opening remarks.
Distinguished chief guest, Mr. Bhaskar Bhatt, who has come all the way to launch this book, and Lieutenant General A. Arun, President of MMA, Mr. K. Mahalingam, my good friend, Mr. C. Sivakumar, Dr. Anbu Thambi, and Group Captain R. Vijay Kumar, other beloved ladies and gentlemen who are assembled this fine evening to witness the book launch. A very pleasant good evening to all of you. It was mentioned by the president of MMA that, it sounds like a fiction and a movie can be made and all that. Now I am going to narrate a kind of a fiction twist in my life as well. Maybe I can begin with that. Up to the age of 44 years, I was practicing as a chartered accountant, a conventional practice. And coupled with that, I used to be teaching chartered accountancy students. And also used to present papers in seminars and conferences just to share what little I knew on the subject of my expertise, which is taxation. And at the age of 44, I decided, why not serve the profession which made me somebody in society? Therefore, I went into the Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And in the 49th year, I became the vice president. 50th year, I completed my tenure as the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. That is, I feel, is part one. And having come back at the age of 50, being son of a freedom fighter, I felt that a critical decision had to be taken on what I should be doing in future. Somehow mind was not cooperating to get back to the practice, meet with the clients, and execute the work which I was doing earlier. I felt my father served as a freedom fighter, and I should be serving nation in some other capacity, in the modern ways that is available. So not knowing what is in the offing, I called my partners, some of whom are present here, and said, this is my intent. They happily supported that, elevated me to the role of a mentor to the firm. So I became a non-billable partner from then onwards. And generally, I enjoy counseling youth, students, and all that. So I was doing that. And within 6 months, then Reserve Bank Governor, Dr. Y.V. Reddy called me and said, we want to co-opt you, nominate you in the Sahara board, Sahara India Financial Corporation, RNBFC, where 21,000 crores of public deposits are at stake, only with net owned funds of 700 crores. But that is the advantage in RNBFC. In NBFC, you cannot do that disproportionate mobilization of deposits and interest variation and all that, but that was possible in RNBFC. Only Peerless and Sahara, they were the two license holders issued long back. So RBI wanted to regulate them. Supreme Court said, don't close it overnight because it will be choking the commercial market. So therefore, do it in a phased manner. So we went in. And within the next 6 months, another call came from the the Corporate Affairs at the instruction of the Prime Minister's office that a board has to be constituted for Satyam crisis. Then the Reserve Bank of India has been making use of my services in different capacities. And currently in IDBI, the Canara Bank, IDBI, and Infrastructure and Development Bank. So this is the change in scenario that I wanted to bring about. But when it came to Satyam, among all the roles that I have played for the government or the Reserve Bank of India, it was something exceptional and different because the stakes involved were altogether different. Because, with 53,000 employees, future at stake, and the country's reputation was getting damaged in the eyes of the global investor community, and the stock market prices crashing, plummeting to the bottom rock, 6 rupees per share. So the government had to act. They would have had conventional ways of solving the problem, which US adopted. One formula which US adopted when the global, financial crisis occurred was to infuse taxpayers' money as a bailout plan for rescuing the banks of America. That would not have been permitted in India because this happened in January 2009, and in the month of May, general elections were in the offing. And I think Indian sentiment would not permit taxpayers' money to be infused for rescuing a private sector company. The second option was, again, US followed it in some cases like Lehman Brothers, AIG, where you allow the market to decide the destiny of such a company. Let it collapse, but you don't bother about it. But that would have been dangerous because the investors' faith in India, that was the time we were propagating on rooftop, India is the safest hub for global investment. And secondly, India's popularity or the name and fame came from IT sector. IT sector put India's name prominently in the international arena. So that was dangerous to do. Fortunately, government did not follow any of those conventional methodologies. They thought out of the box. Why not dissolve the board and constitute a team of individuals to resurrect the company? That is the reason why, this appeared to be a unique case study. I felt that posterity should know as to what has happened in Satyam, because whatever that appeared in media is not the full truth. Some sensational stories and some may be off truth. So therefore, I wanted to capture it along with Pattabhiram. During COVID, we had 25 Zoom meetings in a lockdown scenario. So this is a book virtually written and now physically available as well. So that was the background in which this came. The uniqueness of this story is not only that it is a public-private partnership, government and individuals, because government said, we'll give you legal support, moral support, but not financial support, not 1 rupee support. And second thing is, no taxpayers' money was infused to revive Satyam. And the third thing is, it is a unique case of fraud being disclosed by the promoter by way of confession. So it is not a case of investigation that resulted in confession. It is confession that triggered the investigation. So because of all these unique aspects, it was documented and narrated. And this book me and Pattabhiram have dedicated to the Satyam employees, Satyamites, because, but for the human resources, see, we could have gone there, but generals cannot do anything without the soldiers fighting the war. And sorry to quote that general. And so the significance as to how important is the role of human resources. And in fact, when we walked in, all of us, 6 of us used to meet on a weekly basis, on a war footing. It was a crisis situation. So in this 100 days, we held 16 board meetings, which normally should happen over a period of 4 years in the ordinary course of corporate laws. So we used to chair the board meeting in turns. So when my turn came to chair the board meeting, and I was the spokesperson to media, one of the journalists asked me, Manoharan, this is all fine, but Satyam is a sinking ship. And the gravity of the fraud is so severe. What is that you are going to do? And so the emphasis on the word temporary was resounding. So I gave him a philosophical answer, smiling. We are all temporary in this world, but we can build institutions which will have permanent existence in this world. We can resurrect organizations which will have eternal existence with excellence. We are mortals, but institutions need not be. And all that we mentioned to the employees was, we are strangers to Satyam. You are what you are because of Satya. Because many of them had long career path, grow along with the Satyam's growth. So we mentioned to them, when we are serious to turn around Satyam, you cannot leave the company in lurch and migrate. You have to stand by the company, and this is the time when company needs you. So give us an helping hand. Together we will resurrect the company, whatever time it takes, and few months down the line, we'll be able to look back with a sense of satisfaction, and you can look back with a sense of pride that you showed gratitude to the company which made you somebody in the society. That worked. So when that sense of gratitude was invoked, the employees realized it is a do or die situation, now or never, and we must put their heart and soul. And that was validated because when customers, 600 global customers, out of whom 185 were Fortune 500 companies, many of them wanted to terminate the contracts and migrate to alternative service provider. Again, we pleaded with them with absolute transparency. We said, yes, the situation is bleak, grim. But nevertheless, Government of India has put us on the job of reviving the company. Just wait and watch. Give us some time. And if things are moving in the direction without affecting your continuity of project, confidentiality of project, you continue to support us. But the day you feel you are not happy, tell us. We will help you to migrate to alternative service provider. So this transparent talk worked with them, and they said, okay, on one condition, we'll have weekly follow-up calls. And every week I used to take up, daily there will be calls because in different frequency, different time zones. And after answering all their questions, I used to ask them only one question. How is the project delivery, service delivery by Satyam employees? And all of them uniformly responded by saying, before the scam, it was good. Now it is the best. So, which demonstrated as to how human resource can do wonders if they are determined, because maybe few are destined to succeed, but many succeed because they are determined to succeed. And that is the collective power and energy that they demonstrated. And I also asked, after the turnaround story was over, when we had a get-together with some of the customers, I asked them, initially you were ruthless. You wanted to terminate the contract and go. But later you started supporting us. In fact, some of them even went to the extent of saying, if any other client is not happy with you, refer them to us. We will convince them to stay and patronize Satyam. So to that extent, they came forward, which all I've documented in the book. I asked them, what did that turnaround in your mindset? They said, no, we came to know that the 6 of you who are otherwise busy people have come around to, at the call of the nation, government, to turn around this company and working pro bono without sitting fee or compensation, because that is the resolution we passed in the first board meeting. And this cannot happen in our country. Maybe it is possible only in India. So we thought, whatever you said thereafter, we have given additional weightage that we will wait and watch, and we have not been let down. So this is the kind of, employees, customers, and again the way in which the validation happened, which culminated into this turnaround story. And I am delighted that a legendary corporate personality in Mr. Bhaskar Bhatt is present here on this book launch occasion. And similarly, Lieutenant General A. Arun, who has served the nation in the army in an illustrious manner, is also part of this book launch function. And in their presence, both English version as well as Tamil version are going to be launched. Because when me and Pattabhiram, Rupa Publications approached us, when we gave all the rights, we retained Tamil and Telugu rights for us. Because it happened in Andhra Pradesh, then United Andhra. We thought this story will make a lot of sense to be taken to each household of the United Andhra, now Telangana and Andhra. And Tamil because we are living here, and we thought, and we have passion in Tamil language, and we can take it to the households of, Tamil Nadu. And thanks to Vanadi Publications, they came forward to take up this publication of the Tamil version. and Rani Maindan gave the basic translation, fine-tuned by Lalita Parameshwari. And of course, I also spent a lot of time in fine-tuning it, adding my own little bit knowledge of literature, Tirukkural, Kannadasan, all that you will find it, because it gels so well. It gels every facet of the human life. And more importantly, I felt the lessons I learned in close quarters while dealing with these critical situations should be documented. Should be documented both from corporate perspective as well as personal life perspective. Not that the lessons I have documented in this book are unknown to us, but what happens in this materialistic world when each of us are so busy in our own daily routines, they get deeply buried. Sometimes you will have to make it surface and or introspect. So that is the objective of this book. I thank all of you for sparing your valuable time and being present here. And let us have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.